Hello everyone, this is Evangelist Michael Lee Sansom with Michael Sansom Ministries, and here with part 2 of the Pre-Tribulation Rapture Is It Real lesson. And I think you'll enjoy this and it'll bring everything to a closure, right? So here we go. Part 1 of this lesson was just a summary reading on the historical translations of the Bible and the first written Bible of the original Hebrew. The purpose of that summary was that every care was always taken to ensure translations were accurate, although some words were used in the new translation language that would mean as closely as possible the same thing as the old language. But note that the New Testament was written in Greek and some Aramaic. In 1 Thessalonians 4:13 through 18, "But I would not have you to be ignorant, brethren, containing them which are asleep, that ye sorrow not, even as others which have no hope. For if we believe that Jesus died and rose again, even so them also which sleep in Jesus will God bring with him. For this we say unto you by the word of the Lord, that we which are alive and remain unto the coming of the Lord shall not prevent them which are asleep. For the Lord himself shall ascend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of God, and the dead in Christ shall rise first. Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air, and so shall we ever be with the Lord. Wherefore comfort one another with these words." In verse 17, Paul uses the Greek verb harpazo, which means to seize upon, spoil, snatch away, or take to oneself. The Greek New Testament was also written in Latin about the same period, since the common languages of the time were Greek and Latin. The word rapture comes from the Latin word rapere, meaning rapid, and the Latin word rapimur, meaning we shall be caught up. The Hebrew word harpazo is translated caught up or caught away the 5 times out of 13 it appears in the Bible related to rapture. The other 8 times is translated to forcibly seize upon, snatch away, take to oneself, or use force on someone. In Acts 8:39, the Holy Spirit caught away Philip after he had ministered to the Ethiopian eunuch and placed him in Azotus, some 20 to 30 miles away. In 2 Corinthians 12:2-4, Paul twice describes his experience of being caught up to the third heaven. In Revelation 12:5, the man-child of the woman, usually interpreted to mean Jesus, was caught up to God and his throne. And in 1 Thessalonians 4:17, the primary text for the rapture of the church, "We who are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air." New Testament Greek words that are similar to harpazo and are used in related passages. The noun vepisaragog means to gather together, the act of gathering together and assembling together. This word is only used twice in the New Testament, once in Hebrews 10:25, referring to not forsaking the gathering together of believers, and once in 2 Thessalonians 2:1, referring to the gathering together of believers to meet Jesus at his coming, the rapture previously addressed in 1 Thessalonians 4:17. The verb analambano means to take up and is derived from anapolesis, meaning ascension, taking up. This is the word used in Mark 16:19 and Acts 1:2, 11 and 22 to describe Jesus' ascension, which may also be termed as rapture. The same word is used in the Septuagint in 2 Kings 2:9-11 to describe Elijah's being taken to heaven by a chariot of fire in a whirlwind, another reference to a rapture. Excuse me. It is used once again in the Septuagint to describe Ezekiel being bodily lifted up by the Spirit of God for his visions. 2 other words related to analambano are used by Luke in Acts 1 to refer to the ascension of Jesus. In verse 9, the verb iparo, meaning to be taken up, borne upward, is used in verse 10. The verb paranopomai, meaning went up, is used. A related verb, anabano, meaning to ascend into heaven, either to have communion with God or to dwell there, is used in Revelation 4:1 when John is told to come up here by Jesus. The verb metatithemi means to transpose, put in another place, and hence to transfer, translate. The word is used in both Hebrews 11:5 and in Genesis 5:24 in the Septuagint to describe the translation of Enoch to heaven, another Old Testament rapture. This word is related to the verb alasso, meaning to change the form or nature of a thing, which is used in 1 Thessalonians 15:51-52 to describe what happens to the believer's body at the rapture. And this word is related to the verb metamorpho, meaning to transform, transfigure, or change one's form, which is used to describe Jesus' appearance on the Mount of Transfiguration in Matthew 17:1-9, Mark 9:2-9, Luke 9:28-36. This suggests that what the bodies of the righteous may be as a result of the resurrection of our bodies. In 1 Corinthians 15:51, the verb ekphuno means to flee from, escape calamities. It is used in Luke 21:36 to describe the believers being able to escape the great distress upon the land and wrath to this people, previously described, and to stand before Jesus, another reference to the rapture. The verb sezo means to save, deliver, make whole, or preserve from danger, loss, or destruction. It is used in Romans 5:9 to describe believers being saved from the wrath of God, and in the Septuagint to describe the rescue of Lot and his family in Genesis 19:17-22. Jacob surviving the encounter with the angel in Genesis 32:30, and in Daniel 12:1 to describe Daniel's people being saved from the time of distress, such as never occurred since there was a nation until that time, if their name is found written in the book. The noun form of sozo, soteria, means safety, deliverance, or preservation from danger or destruction. It is used in Hebrews 11:7 to describe Noah and his family's deliverance from the flood, and in Exodus 14:13 and 15:2 in the Septuagint to describe the deliverance of Israel from Pharaoh's army at the Red Sea, and in 1 Thessalonians 1:10, 5:9, 2 Thessalonians 2:13, Hebrews 1:14, 9:28, and 1 Peter 1:5 and 2 Peter 3:15 to describe believers being saved from the wrath of God. The reference to the deliverance of Noah and his family in the Septuagint uses the preposition dia and water, with water, in the accusative case translated because of the water, and which flood in the genitive case translated through the flood. Therefore, the total translation in the Septuagint is because of the water of the flood. The same verse in the Hebrew Bible is translated escape the waters of the flood. All of this bears witness to the use of the concept of rapture in the Old Testament, and as the Old Testament law states in Deuteronomy 19:15, on the evidence of 2 or 3 witnesses a matter shall be confirmed. It also bears witness to the rapture protecting us from the tribulation. Remember, Luke 21:36, watch ye therefore and pray always that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man. Romans 5:9, much more then, being now justified by his blood, we shall be saved from wrath through him. Daniel 12:1, the noun form of sozo, soteria, means safety, deliverance, or preservation from danger or destruction. Revelation 19:7 tells us that the marriage of the Lamb has come in verse 19 and 8. The saints are described as being arrayed in fine linen, the fine linen being the righteousness of the saints. The actual marriage supper begins in verse 19 and 9, and in verse 19 and 11, Christ returns with the saints to make war with Satan and his followers. Then in verse 19 and 14, the armies of heaven are described as being clothed and arrayed, just as the saints are described in verse 9 and 8. So what is this missing? What is missing here is the judgment of the saints. This is where each saint is judged according to his or her works, and the award is given. This must be done before the marriage supper of the Lamb, because any works that are not good must be burned up first. Then the remaining works are pure and the reward is righteous. So when does the rapture occur? By the record of the Bible itself, it will be pre-tribulation. Then, while the sinners are enduring their first judgment on the earth, the saints are receiving their works judgment in heaven. But not everyone will believe until it is too late. J.D. Farag is the pastor at Calvary Chapel in Kanoi, Hawaii, on the windward side of Oahu. It is a non-denominational church. Pastor Farag was born in Beirut, Lebanon, to an Egyptian father and Palestinian mother. They migrated to the USA in 1963. Pastor Farag struggled with the rapture concept for many years. His long studies in biblical prophecy has shown him that there must be a pre-tribulation rapture, and he now preaches this to his congregation in televised world. Sample church organizations who do not believe in the rapture of the church are the Catholics, the Eastern Orthodox, Lutherans, Anglicans, Presbyterians, Anglicans, United Methodists, United Church of Christ, the most reformed Christians. Sample church organizations who do believe in the pre-tribulation rapture of the church are Baptists, Bible churches, Pentecostals, Brethren churches, non-denominational evangelical churches, and other evangelical churches. There are a lot of arguments all around about whether the raptured church will be pre-trib, mid-trib, or post-trib, if you believe in a rapture at all. Well, the Bible is full of references that points to the fact that it will be pre-tribulation. Now, and most organizations believe that rapture will occur at the same time in the Bible that John was caught up. And it's because of the actual meanings of the words that were used when the revelation was taught. It should be noted that it took John 2 years, in AD 65 and 66, to see all the visions of the revelation. So it's important to note that there is nothing in there that really points to a mid or in tribulation, because we are counted worthy to escape any danger as well as judgment. So if we're counted worthy to escape danger as well as judgment, now there's no doubt there'll be danger when the tribulation judgment begins. So anyway, I hope this helps you some, and there are deeper studies to be done about this, and I will be doing some shortly. So have a great day. God bless, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you very much.